All right, y'all. This is no, it's not. This is Ready to Love. This is just a summary of my thoughts and views on the past couple episodes. I think it is. I'm not gonna do a full recap on them. I'm really behind on doing them anyway. I got a glare. I don't like the glare. Hold on for a second. Did it make it worse? All right, that's a little bit better. Ooh, okay, that's different. But anywho, so the biggest thing that happened on this particular episode had to be dealing with Dakia. I'm gonna get her name right this particular episode. It had to be dealing with Dakia and Tina. If y'all have not seen, Tina has done several videos on IG. I think she interviewed with Little Black Book and another person. Was it Crystal? She's done a few interviews, basically explaining her absence. Her conversation is one of the reasons why continuously watching this show with an open mind is hard to do. It's one reason why I try not to follow their Instagrams too much, because they share too much information. They share a lot of misleading information. And then there's a lot of YouTube bloggers out here who are trying to get their rise off of these reality stars, while at the same time these reality stars are trying to come up on these YouTube bloggers. So they feed them information to put out there into the atmosphere that aren't necessarily true all the time either. And it makes it difficult for me to enjoy. Anybody that knows me knows that I am very judgmental when it comes to reality TV shows. And I don't know, when I listen back to my reviews and recaps, I don't really do them as I do scripted TV shows. With scripted TV shows, I tend to get more in depth and more detail as far as meaning and purpose than I do with these reality people, because I know this shit is fake. One of the things that Tina said in her interview was that she wanted to quit after week 1. Being on this show, dating multiple people while running a business, raising a 2-year-old became very overwhelming for her. So she tried to quit after week 1. And a lot of people are saying, well, why you just didn't quit then? Well, she's under contract. And although you see a few people walking off, it's all part of the script. When people exit stage left, a lot of their contracts are different from one another. Tina is one of the people who actually auditioned for the show during the casting call. She came off the street. Majority of the cast, I do believe every last one of the other cast members were invited. It might be one or more two that's not invited, but the rest of them are invited. Ace may have been an actual interviewee, I'm not sure, but the rest of them are invited onto the show. So their contract looks a little bit different. So when they want to leave, it's things that they can negotiate more than somebody who actually auditioned and signed a contract to be here. So she has to do at least 40% of airtime. That's what's making me think that Ace is one of the people who auditioned, because she didn't have a lot of airtime. She said she went on a lot of dates. They just didn't show a lot of shit, right? What they're going to do is show a lot of the people who are good TV. The ones who are trying to be actors, singers, models, dancers, whatever, reality stars, they're giving them the most shine. So when they wouldn't allow her to quit, she decided to ask the men to eliminate her. They wouldn't do that either. So here she is, stuck in this process that she really didn't want to be a part of any longer. She claims that she had no real connections with anybody there. There was no one there that she thought she could see herself marrying, raising a family with, in a building with, what they call like nation building. There was nobody that she saw that she could do that with. Now, I think that she genuinely had developed a friendship between Donovan, but other than that, no romantic connection. After that first meetup with Paul, she said that that was it. She never went out with him again, never talked to him again. She said Demetrius once she started communicating him, she realized he was a lot like her ex. Now, remember, she said that her ex was a very toxic person, that they were in like an abusive type of situation, whether it was emotionally abused, physical, or verbal. I didn't get a clear understanding on that, but she said that Demetrius was basically him, carbon copy of that man. And so there was nobody else that she is even in the slightest bit interested in. She also stated that, well, I had told you guys that I thought they was trying to build up this narrative that she was just ghosting people based off of what her ex had said. Remember, he said that if she really didn't care about you, if things got complicated, she was going to ghost you. And I said that they were trying to make us believe that's what was going on. I told y'all that. Based off of her interview, I was right. They was making that shit up. What she said that she learned, she said she watched this show before, but she was really naive into understanding the ins and outs and the ebbs and the flows of how things were going. So she decided, what she learned is that reality TV is not necessarily scripted, but there's a storyline. There's always going to be that one victim, the one person's going to hold out for sex, the battered military person or law enforcement, who, you know, is the diva, the one that's just happy all the time, the one that's full of enlightenment and understanding. They always fit these certain profiles, and it's a storyline that they got to carry out. And she wasn't willing to continue to carry out that storyline. Okay, so when she didn't show up to the house, everybody was acting shocked. She don't know why everybody was acting shocked, because she had already told production she had a previous engagement that she was not going to make that house. When she had the dinner with, when she didn't do the date with, was it Paul? It was Paul or Demetrius. The date with Paul. She had already notified them that she couldn't make that either because she already had a previous arrangement. So they knew she wasn't coming. The show made her come to talk to Donovan, and that's why she really didn't have much to say. Like, what can I say? She's not sorry about, you know, how things happening, because she didn't want to be there in the first place. And for him to sit there and say, what are you here for? I don't know what you're here for. You knew she didn't want to be there in the first place too. You knew it. I told y'all, I think a couple weeks ago, I liked Tina. It was something about her that I saw was genuine, with the exception of her eyes, her contacts. But still, I thought that something about her was coming off to me as very genuine. And I saw that the show was trying to twist who she was as a person. If y'all don't remember me saying that, y'all go back to my last video. I clearly said that this show was trying to make Tina be something that she's not trying to be. They're trying to create this storyline, this negative persona of her that I didn't believe existed. And like saying, if what she said in her interviews were accurate, then I was correct. Okay. Joy and Clifton. Joy sees no wrong in him. He can do no wrong. I believe that Joy and Clifton had already been banging it out. But when they got to this house, I just thought that Clifton was very disrespectful to Dakia. Why I keep messing her name up? Although everybody on the outside looking in can see that he clearly has an attraction to Joy, I believe that it was very misleading of him. He was very misleading to Dakia. He led her to believe that maybe she had a chance. And for them to show up at that house, and Dakia was like, well, you already got somebody in your room, you got the joint bed thing, and Joy had already put a suitcase in there. He wanted to act like he was shocked at first. Y'all had matching onesies. Y'all had already pre-planned. As Dakia said, yeah, this was premeditated. Y'all had already pre-planned to spend time together. You could have gave her a heads up, a warning, because you went into this house leading her to believe that you were going to spend time with her to help guide your decision, which that was not your plan at all. I do like the conversation that she had. Like, dog, you should have just told me that, because I mean, everybody could see it. I'm not mad at the connection, but don't not tell me that, basically kind of throw it in my face. All the little talk about Joy's like, you enjoyed last night? Yeah, I enjoyed last night. You know they fucked. You know they fucked. Okay. Which half these people probably did at some point. Actually, I don't know, because I still think Donovan is saucy. No, he wasn't saucy. Eric was saucy. Donovan's still zesty. Donovan's still zesty to me. He's still zesty. Carmen, I still do not think that she wants to be with anybody. I didn't understand her flip that she had with Paul. Everybody that Paul has talked to, with the exception of Joy, they seem to be like, oh my goodness, Paul, you show me a different side of you. I'm really vibing with you. I'm really feeling you. And then all of a sudden, the next scene, they don't like him no more. Carmen seems to be all in his face, all in his mix. And then now, no, not so much. Paul really has been hanging on by thread. I still didn't understand how he'd been floating around this long. But Paul has been good at, soon as he see troubles in the water, to jump on the next bandwagon. And he felt that with Tina not being around, so let me go ahead and hop on the kid. He was really leaning more towards Carmen, but he saw Carmen was really leaning more into Donovan. Carmen likes zesty men. She likes zesty men. That's why she couldn't deal. Laverne seemed to be a zesty man when he wanted his ass cupped and everything, but Laverne was a bit more aggressive and controlling. Even though he wanted to be dominated, she didn't like that. She likes zesty men that she could shape and mold. And Paul wasn't one of them zesty people either. She wanted him to be Paul. He likes to still be called P.O. You know what I'm saying? He wants to be, that's both who he is. It's his personality. And I think Tommy made a point when he said, you need to find somebody who's going to love both of you. You know, both sides of you. She refused to call, like I said, she refused to call this grown-ass man P.O. He been called P.O.J. all his life. That's like telling me I can't be called Nene. I've been called Nene all my goddamn life. I've been called poetry for over 20-some years. You tell me you can't call me poetry, something's wrong. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? That's who I am. But every time that Dakia is invited into the situation where Carmen feels threatened, I do agree with Dakia that Carmen ain't like her in the beginning. So no, I really don't agree with her totally. Carmen didn't like her in the beginning because she felt she was her most direct competition. And they seem to go towards the same type of men, and I think it's intentional. The kid thinks that she got beef with her because of the Eric situation. I think she do have beef with you because of the Eric situation. But remember I said I thought that Donovan and Dakia worked, but he ended up with Carmen, which is weird. Anywho, I don't see it for them two, not together. People, I see all over Instagram and Twitters and the YouTube streets that people is rooting for Donovan and Carmen. They just don't match to me. But like I said, she like her little zesty man. Somebody that she could just, exchange high heels with or something. I don't know. Who is that? Somebody on Instagram. I don't know if it's Carmesia or the other boy, Kevin. Oh, Kevin's not running that page no more. Somebody else is running that page. Who keep posting up pictures every time that Carmen posts a picture of her and another guy. They post it out and everybody in their mom like, oh, Carmen with him. Oh, Carmen with him. Carmen ain't with none of these mofos. And I don't know if SJ Dubs realizing that he kind of busted. He kind of shared or kind of like spoiled one of these couples for me. Not for me. I didn't believe it was going to happen anyway. But the Kia and Paul are seeming like they possibly going to hook up. He saw Paul out in the streets at some comedy show with his date. It wasn't the Kia. I'm just saying. You know what I'm saying? The whole concept of this show is, in my mind, at least the way they presented it, was for you to be ready to love, not ready to date. Because you can date on your own. You know what I'm saying? But so if he is still seeing Dakia, he's still seeing other women as well. He doesn't think that she's the right one to give his 100 to at this particular stage in life. Who else? Tori got sent away. You know, he's still in his fees. I don't know why he still didn't realize that it's been long over with Sabrina, and he was gonna try to move on to somebody else. I think he was gonna try to move on to Carmen, but ain't nobody else in this house feeling you, boy. Nobody in this house is feeling you like that. So yeah, it was time for Tori to go. He should have eliminated himself a long time ago too. He should have been gone. As soon as she nibbled on Demetrius' ear, he should have been gone. Sabrina, a lot of people call her wishy-washy. It's not that she's wishy-washy to me. Yeah. In a way. Okay, when it comes to Donovan, I think she's wishy-washy. And the reason why I say that is because Sabrina sat there and told Demetrius's friend that she was not, or Tori's friend, that she was not ready to jump into a relationship. She wanted to take things slow. You know, she's only been divorced a year and a half. She wanted to take things slow, but she's ready to get out there. That's what she said, right? But when it comes to Donovan, that's the exact reason why she says she has pause with him. Because she doesn't think that he's ready to actually be with somebody right now. Well, that's what you told Tori friend. Ace, what's it, Ash? You told Ash you weren't ready for a relationship either. You wanted to take things slow. And Tori didn't want to take it slow. Tori was ready for you. He was ready. He was ready for love. He was ready for love. But you was like, no, pump your brakes, slow down. Hold up. I'm not trying to get into anything serious right now. That's what you said. But when it comes to Donovan, now it's a problem that you believe he feels that way. That he's not ready to get into a relationship. Nobody on this show is. Nobody on this show really ready to get into a relationship. Paul claims that he was. No, you're not. Joy and Clifton claim they are. No, they not. They just not. Okay. Who was I talking about? Paul and Dakia? I was talking about somebody. Sabrina. I was talking about Sabrina. With her situation. But what I do like about Sabrina is that she tells them exactly how she's feeling. She's not sugarcoating it. These men take her being open about how she feels, being straightforward and direct, as a red flag. She has a problem with the submission idea as far as Demetrius is concerned. One of y'all said that he was a Kevin Samuels follower. I could believe it. I could believe it. But she also has a concern with him not being affectionate with her. He said he ain't gonna be affectionate with her. He not gonna be give his 100 and she up here running up after a bunch of other men. Demetrius ain't got no other connection himself, you know. So he don't want to be boo-boo the fool is what he trying to say. But Sabrina's like, you want me to accept you and agree to be with you based on potential. Because your mouth say this is what you're going to do once we get done with this process. But I need to know this now in order to make an informed decision. And he's not willing to give that to her. So it may be a problem. I don't think Sabrina's going to choose anyone. I just don't. It looked like something flew past my eye. Maybe it was dust. I don't know. Carmen. She's acting like her and Donovan are just like really clicking, that they got this real sexual tension between them that she can rock with. However, when they all came to the table at the end of last episode, she was like in her feelings about Paul. Like she had to make sure. Actually, you know what? I don't even think she was in her feelings about Paul. I think she wanted just to use the situation with Paul to get at Dakia. I really do. Because she went in about how he said he want his woman to look, which he told her he'd want his woman to be tall and with big feet and 5'3". He told her what he all looked for, but apparently he wasn't that into Dakia. Of course he gonna say that because Paul been running game this whole time too. He gonna tell you what you want to hear. And Carmen said, well, I'm gonna tell her what you told me. Okay. And everybody's sitting around like, ooh, petty. You know, everybody, because people don't really like Carmen. Joy, another person that just posts up pictures all the time with different cast members to make it seem like, oh, everything's so peachy keen right now. You know, Joy is just happy-go-lucky in love with Clifton already. But I told y'all before, Joy lives in Mexico, so I wonder how that's going. Now, I know Dorlinda Tracy said that she's seen Clifton's Instagram once upon a time, and he was posting up a picture of a passport. I remember a live stream that he did with Tori. I forgot who else was on it, and they were all talking about going to Colombia. And Tori was like, "Hey, we can go right now. We can go right now. Let's go. Let's fly out next week or fly out tomorrow, some shit like that." You know, these niggas ain't going no damn where. They phony. Oh my god, these are some phony dudes. I was gonna call them bitch ass, but I didn't want to even associate them with women because women have stronger mentality than these men do. These are some petty ass little dudes, boy. I think that the passport was not necessarily going to see Joy at that particular time, but if it is, hey, more power to them. But she lives in Mexico. I told y'all that. She's been in Mexico I don't know how long. Matter of fact, immediately after the show was taping, I told y'all that in the cast special that Joy lives in Mexico. She called her there just to tape for these few weeks, and then immediately after taping this show, she was moving back to Mexico. So you flew all the way to DC to make this 8-week love connection just so you could fly back to Mexico and be without him. Yeah, you think yeah. Okay. Who else I'm missing? So Donovan, Demetrius, Paul, Tori gone now, Clifton. Okay, women. Joy, Dakia, Carmen, Sabrina, and Tina, who didn't come to the house. Is that it? Dakia, like I said, Dakia and Clifton, I appreciate the conversation they had at the end. Then afterwards, you know, she went on a date with Paul again. I just don't see it. I just don't see it. Like I said, I saw Paul with Carmen more than anybody. I just don't see Paul with the kid. They just don't match. This is, Joy went on another date with Clifton afterwards to talk to clarify that, you know, he chose her, and she's happy and elated about that. Donovan says his strongest bond is with Carmen, and like I say, Sabrina is now giving him red flags because of what she's saying about him not being ready to love. Demetrius' only connection is Sabrina, and yeah, that's pretty much it. That's all I think I've missed over these last few weeks. I just don't believe none of these couples at all. None of them at all. Only one I see make it to the end. Oh, they always took 3 to the end, right? Would be Joy and Clifton. Joy and Clifton. I just don't see Sabrina choosing Demetrius or Donovan. I just don't see her choosing anybody. Joy and Clifton. If the kid and Paul do it, it's just they just stunting for the gram. They stunting for the cam. None of them are gonna be long term, I don't believe, including Joy and Clifton. I just don't see it. I think they'd probably be good friends and they'll hook up, you know, from time to time. Whenever she come back in town, he may fly down to see her. But as far as a strong relationship, nah, it's not. Nah. Yeah, I think that's about it. I think next week they meet the families. The women get to go meet the guys' families. Something like that. Y'all know how I hate them episodes. I really do. Next week I'll be back on track though. I will be back on track, you know what I'm saying? I was dealing with acid reflux the past couple days. I have not belched, but I think one time in this video, I got a lump stuck right here in my throat. It's really painful. But y'all don't care about none of that. So I was supposed to be making this like one extended video. Yeah, that didn't happen. You getting them separate. put a ring on. It's going to come up next. If you still waiting on that, thank y'all for watching. Thank y'all for being here. Leave your comments down in the comment section for anything that I said today. And I'll see you in the next video. Peace.